So I wanted to talk about the placebo effect and faith-based healing today. You know, the placebo effect / faith-based healing is well established in the sciences, in holistic healing, and throughout the ages. It's a human universal. And I'm going to post a link to an NIH paper titled something like, I can't remember the exact title, but it's titled Faith-Based Healing and the Placebo Effect. And one of the most profound things about this article is the language that's hidden between the lines. And what I mean by language hidden between the lines is that doctors are very well aware of the placebo effect, and in fact, they frequently use it and are trained how to use it to manipulate people. Now, the word manipulate is tricky. It has several different connotations. You know, it can be negative and it can be positive. And in the case where someone is in an erratic state, it's actually good for doctors to manipulate people. However, people could be using faith-based healing and the power of positivity to heal themselves. But they are ridiculed, mocked, and slandered by the medical establishment, which makes it so people become dependent on doctors as almost like a type of shaman or spiritual leader that control and dictate how the placebo effect is used and activated. Now, why do people like opium so much? They like it because it is a neurotransmitter that our brain naturally produces. If someone tells you that they're giving you a painkiller and you take it, most people will produce opiates in their brain hole, which will cause them to feel better. You know, not only to satiate physical planes, but it also has a calming, soothing effect on us cognitively, like on our mental state. So these things are very well established. Let's look at some mountains here. Nice little view. We got Lake Como there with the Three Sisters. Nice end of May. So yeah, the placebo effect and faith-based healing. It's very real, and it is a type of manipulation. We can manipulate ourselves in a positive way, and also the counter effect of the placebo effect, or its opposite, is called the nocebo effect. And with the nocebo effect, you know, think about people who have like certain types of OCD or other mental conditions where it forces them to think negative thoughts. And just like we can use the placebo effect to produce opium in our brain to satiate our pain and our emotional traumas, we also use the nocebo effect to hinder our ability to produce those good neurotransmitters like epinephrine, dopamine, you know, serotonin, all that kind of shit. They're all intrinsically linked. You know, even alcohol, although alcohol itself does not contain any opium or opioids, the part of the brain that makes you feel good when you drink alcohol, it actually sinks in and links into your neurotransmitters, your opium receptors. Again, I'll repeat this. Your brain makes opium. Your brain makes opium. It's the placebo effect. It's a type of faith-based healing. It's very real, and it's almost like magic. And doctors use it. They're gatekeepers for this. They knowingly manipulate people and make people dependent on them. It's incredibly sick. It's incredibly wrong. And the agony which has been caused by our medical establishment is uncalculatable. It's so vast. The damage that has been done to the human psyche, both on the individual level and on the subconscious, you know, collective conscious type level, is unfathomable. The amount of damage that has been done, I mean, just look around society. Look at how many people are on antidepressants now, or, you know, benzodiazepines and antipsychotics, all of which have very horrible well-established negative effects. It makes you dependent. And also another funny thing is, funny sad, but we just had that shooting in Texas apparently. If you look at a graph for the use of antidepressants, specifically SSRI drugs, and the connection between mass shootings in the United States, it is indisputable that these things are commensurate. They line up perfectly. Now you could argue, that there's social aspects and other things, and it's, correlation is not causation type shit. But regardless of which perspective you have, these things are intrinsically linked. So, the placebo effect again, and the nocebo effect. I was very scientifically minded and very literal, I have like autistic type perceptions or whatnot. And I would always read these things and I would use the lens of scientism to interpret them, and I was noceboing myself for years. I thought that I needed doctors' drugs to make me feel good, or alcohol, or whatever else. That was a myth. I was tricked. There was a spell cast on me. I was manipulated by propaganda. I got very sick about 6 years ago. I've lost all my teeth and other things, so that's why my speech is kind of funny. But the amount of pain and suffering I endured was horrible. No one should ever have to deal with that, And because my teeth were falling out, I lost a lot of weight. I looked like I had scurvy. I looked like I was on drugs. I looked like I was like a heroin or meth addict. And because I looked like that, people started to treat me that way. It was very difficult. I was alienated from virtually all my friends, all my family. Doctors slandered me without evidence, and kind of ruined my fucking life, to be honest. The amount of animosity I have towards doctors and the medical establishment is beyond words. They are the third leading cause of death in our country. Side note, I like and respect surgeons. Surgeons actually are accountable. Doctors, MDs, are not. And research doctors are very brilliant people. Very brilliant. But your average MD is not. They simply work, they have a good work ethic, and they have a good functioning memory. They don't abstract. They don't think outside the box. They do not help their patients. They're drug dealers. They should be treated like such and held accountable. So we're just pulled into lovely Darby again. Gotta pick up my mijo from work. So there's a nice little sun setting over the mountain. Have a good day, America. Peace out.